Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and happy Halloween! I have a quick little video to share with you today, a bit of a bonus craft project that I worked on this week. Today I'm showing you how I made these adorable little paper pumpkins. I've always wondered how to make these because they've been on the packaging for one of my paper pads, but I never knew how to make them until I saw a reel by one of the crafters that I just love to see on Instagram, Jess McAfee. So I'm going to make sure that I link at least her Instagram profile in the description on this, and if I can link the reel, I'll do that too. So this project was actually super simple and she made it look really easy because it was in a quick reel. But in real life, it really didn't take me that long to make all three of them. I probably could have done more, but I don't really have a need for a heap of pumpkins. I just wanted a few extra decorations and something to craft for Halloween this weekend. So as you can see, I have trimmed up my paper. For each pumpkin, I need 12 of 1 inch by 6 inch strips of paper. And I've done a few different patterns here. My paper is double-sided, so I can pick either side of these depending on what I feel like. Now, believe it or not, out of all the craft tools I have, I don't have a small hole punch. I only had these hole punches and they were really big, and the only brads that I'd be able to use were really big ones. And I wanted to use my small brads with this because they're silver, they just blended in with my paper a bit better. So what I did was grab a pin from one of my pin collections and I just poked some holes in my paper. It was still only a few minutes, but with a hole punch you'd get through this much faster. So if you've got a hole punch that's nice and small, make sure you use it. By the looks of it, Jess had a We Are Memory Keepers one. I'm going to look into what board she was using for that. I have a few of the We Are Memory Keepers hole punch boards and alphabet boards, but I don't have one with that specific little hole punch. It was really cute. So what I've done here is put all 12 strips on one brad. And then after that, following Jess's directions, you kind of grab one from, there's no corners here, but you kind of go opposites, if that makes sense. So I'm popping the brad into the first one, folding it over to the bottom, and then just going kind of as evenly as I can to the opposite sides until I have 4, and then moving on to, the next 4. Now these brads are very small and they only just fit all 12 pieces of paper, but I did manage to bend the ends and they're holding on nice and tight. So I simply repeated this for all 3 of my pumpkins. On some black cardstock, I sprinkled some black soot Distress Oxide ink and some of my white gold watercolor pigment, just to add a little bit of texture. Once that was dry, I used my small stitched leaves by Fawn to cut that out. I also used my Fawn skinny tag, and from that I cut some white cardstock. I went through all of my Halloween stamp sets and found the best sentiments that would work for this. So here I am using a big Halloween, a smaller trick or treat, and then on my last one, you are spooktacular. I poked some holes in these leaves and then using my Fawn candy corn twine, I threaded through them and through the hole on my tag. And with this I tied a little bow. It took me a couple of goes to work out exactly how I wanted my bow tied. I'm really not neat at tying bows, but I got there in the end. Whenever I use twine like this, I make sure that after I've cut it, I add just a little bit of PVA glue on the end and rub it in. This just seals the ends so that they don't fray over time. Once I was happy with all of my tags, I flipped them over and added one foam square to each of them. I removed the backing and then added the tags to the pumpkins, just gently pushing them down so that they adhere nicely. And with that, these little pumpkins were complete. I hope you love them. They were so much fun to make. I would love to know, what are you doing for Halloween today? Are you crafting? Are you busy? Are you taking kids out trick-or-treating? Are you expecting trick-or-treaters at your house? I would love to know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.